Hey, welcome back to the channel. Ed Paget here. And today I want to show you a really unique exercise that's going to help you loosen up your back and your hips, which can mean the end to lower back pain, as well as a great way to manage scoliosis. But before I get into the video, I want to let you know about my Facebook group that specializes in scoliosis. And that's where a lot of the action and interaction with my community happens. And it's a great place to get help if you have scoliosis. To join that, just click on the link in the description below. And if you want to get hold of me personally, you can just send me a DM through that group. This exercise is called the somatic flower. And what does that mean? Well, it's from a tradition of exercises that comes from Alexander technique, Feldenkrais, and Hanna somatics. And somatics is simply a mindful movement taking a joint or a muscle through its full length and full contraction. So the idea is that, let's say you want to loosen up a muscle like this. Rather than just stretching it out like this, you stretch it, but then you also contract it. Then you stretch it and contract it. And what that stretching and contraction does is it tells the brain how long the muscle should be and how short the muscle should be, and helps it reset it to a decent resting tone, something that's not hypertonic, i.e. tight, and not too loose. So we're going to learn a somatic exercise that loosens up the muscles in your hips, your lower back, your arms, and your neck. The somatic flower. Right, the first thing you need to be able to do, even before you do this exercise, is to be able to move your pelvis in what we call an arch and flatten. So you're going to lie onto your back, and you're going to take your spine and push it down towards the ground. So you can see here my stomach goes down just a little bit, and my pelvis is tilting posteriorly. Then as I breathe in, I will go the other way, and I would arch my back up. So my spine here arches just a little bit, and my belly expands as I breathe in, and my pelvis tilts anteriorly. So we have a breath out, posterior tilt, breath in, anterior tilt. Okay, so assuming you can do that, and if you can't do that, that's where you stay. You stay just working on this separation of the hip, a movement away from the spine movement. Or actually, it's a coupled movement. It's like a cog. So the hips, the pelvis and the hips go this way, and the spine goes this way into extension, and then it goes into flexion like this. And that cog shape actually happens here, and then into the spine, and then it happens again up in the thorax, then it happens again up in the neck. So actually, when I tilt my pelvis this way anteriorly, my chin goes down and in. My whole cranium tilts anteriorly as well. Then when I tilt my pelvis posteriorly, my head goes into posterior movements. Okay, now I want you to put your feet together and just let your legs drop out side by side. So in this position, you may notice that your spine comes off the ground anyway. So this pulls the pelvis into an anterior pelvic tilt, and the spine arches. So if I combine this movement with a breath in, I get a nice big belly, my lower back arches, and the pelvis anteriorly tilts, and I get a groin stretch. Then if I bring my legs back together, I can actually push my pelvis into a posterior tilt, my back goes down towards the ground, and I can breathe out. But I want you to feel something here. Put your hands onto your legs, and as you take your legs out, is it a smooth movement? Or is there a jerkiness? Like, I'll exaggerate this. So is it like this? This? Do you get to the end and is there a bounce? Now, if there is a jerkiness in your hip movement, it's a disconnect between what your brain is telling your muscles to do and what your muscles are actually doing. And so we want to see if we can really increase that connection. So you're going to go in and out very slowly, trying to smooth out any of that jerkiness. If you find a spot, let's say there's somewhere in the middle here where it jerks a little bit, just go back up and then back down over it. So it's like you're smoothing it out. You're going up and over, up and over. So we want the legs to move very smoothly. Now we're going to bring the hands into this, okay? So we're going to put the hands at 45 degrees down. So it looks like, this angle here, 45 degrees. I just want to stop the video here for a moment and let you know about my online course for scoliosis. It's the most comprehensive course out there and takes you through everything you need to know about stretching, strengthening, and adding endurance to your spine to help you manage your scoliosis. Now, I run this course a few times a year, and if you'd like to know about the next time I run it, which is actually very soon, just click in the link that's in the description below or in the comments, put your name down, and so you get on that notification list. And once you do that, I'll send you my 6-part video series on scoliosis. Now, back to the training. And we're going to practice fully externally rotating the hands like this. So my shoulder blade goes down my back, my palm points up for a little bit, then my thumb actually points down towards the mat. Some of you will be able to go further, some won't go that far. So I'm externally rotating like this. This enhances that spinal motion. You'll see that I can drive my spine by simply externally rotating my arms. There's some amazing connections in the human body, and that's one of them. Now, if I go the other way, if I turn my hands into internal rotation, my shoulders will come up off the mat here, and I will, my back will flatten. You'll also notice that your neck might change its position here. So when you externally rotate, your neck might flatten down or lengthen, and then when you internally rotate, you'll notice that your chin sticks out and that your arch in your back or your neck increases. Okay, so now we're going to combine those movements. We're going to let the legs drop out, we're going to breathe in, we're going to arch the pelvis, and we're going to externally rotate the arms, okay? So arms at 45 degrees from your waist, thumbs pointing upwards to start with in kind of a neutral position. Now breathe in, and then breathe out. Now in this breathing out motion, I want you to feel a little tension between your knees, into your abs, into your chest. Your thumbs again point down to the mat, but this time internally rotated. And you're tightening up the front of your body. And then as you breathe in, it's like a flower almost that's opening, the petals open. You're loosening everything, but at the same time, you're also tightening the back. You're tightening in between your shoulder blades. You're tightening a little bit into your lower back, a little bit into your pelvis. Okay, the posterior part of your pelvis. And then breathe out. Okay, so I'm taking these muscles from the anterior of my body here, shortening them, and then I'm going into lengthening like this. But I'm also doing the opposite. I'm taking my back muscles into sort of a shortened position, contracting here, and then I'm lengthening as they come into here. So I want you to do this with me now. We're going to do just 3 of these movements, okay? Nice and slow. Breath in. Open everything up. Good. Breathe out. Close everything down. Good. Try and time it so the hands rotate at the same speed as your arms. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Actually, time it so that your hands and knees move at the same time. Breathe in. So here my hands maximally externally rotate. My knees open as much as they can be. And then as I breathe out, my hands are internally rotated just as my knees touch. Now, we want a little bit of chin extension here, but we don't want to arch the head too much. That might happen to some of you, but we want to try and avoid that. We don't want to pinch the neck. And then here, the back of the head can actually slide up the mat. Chin gets tucked in just a little bit, and there's a lengthening through the back of the neck. Okay, we'll finish there. What you'll find when you do this daily, there's going to be a relaxation in those tight muscles in your lower back. There's going to be a relaxation in the tight muscles of your hips. There's going to be a relaxation in the tight muscles of your shoulders and neck. And over time, that relaxation and that full body, that full lengthening and then contraction helps reset the tone in those muscles. And with a lesser tone in those muscles, or a lesser sort of tonicity and that sort of tension, you'll have less pain and more movement, and less pain and more movement can create more strength. And with more strength, there'll be less pain and more movement. And it's this cycle that just keeps going and going and going. And you can really help decrease and eliminate your back pain and help manage your pelvic position for scoliosis. Obviously, there's going to be more exercises you need to do specifically for your spine, but the pelvis is a really good foundation to start with. So do this exercise every day. You go through it about 3 to 5 times, so it's not a huge exercise because it's more of a nervous neural training. 3 to 5 times a day, and you'll see fantastic results. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this video now. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click on that notification bell so you don't miss the next video. And if you can, I'd like you to send this channel to a friend that you think will enjoy this content as well. Thank you so much for doing those things. Your support makes a huge difference to me. Stay tuned for my next video, which will be up soon. Till then, stay loose.